Hey, how you doing? Welcome back. So we're continuing the starter deck upgrade series this week, and we got 3 more decks for you. Up first is a red and white equipment-based deck called Rebel Armory. So I'm gonna go take a look at it and see what we can do to upgrade it, retrofit it, find out what kind of things we can do to make it just a little bit more competitive. So let's go take a look. Okay, so this is what the deck looks like starting out. This is what you're going to get when you finish the tutorial and unlock all of your starter decks. So what this deck looks like it wants to do is kind of like be a little aggressive, running a lot of the 4 Mirrodin artifacts, like the equipment, because they all come into play with a 2/2 Rebel attached to them. So you're not really losing out by just running a bunch of extra equipment. They come with creature tokens, so that's kind of nice. Got Ruck, the Hex Gold Nabber. He's pretty cool. Bladehold War Whip. Got the Hover Wings. We got the Dragon Glider. Astor Bear Blades. So yeah, you got a handful of equipment and like equipment enabling creatures. And that's kind of like the theme that they want to go with for this deck. So that's what you start with. Let's go take a look at what we can do about it. Okay, so here's what we got running right now. So first things first, got to kick out all of the alchemy cards because we're playing this in standard, not alchemy. So anything that has the little alchemy symbol on it gets kicked out immediately. So that freed us up with a little bit of space, and we also got rid of a few of the other cards that didn't really make a whole lot of sense, like the Heirloom Battle Hymn. This is an aggressive deck. You don't really need to be gaining life in an aggressive deck. Unless it like directly advances your board state, advances your game plan. So we kick that out. So let's quickly go over what we do have. So I decided to run a full grip of Monastery Swiftspear because prowess triggers when you play a non-creature spell, not an instant or sorcery, any non-creature spell. So what is an equipment? It's an artifact. So if you play Hexgold Halberd with the Monastery Swiftspear already out, it will trigger prowess and also give you a 2/2 Rebel attached to this Hexgold Halberd. So that's why the Swiftspear is in here. Cheeky House Mouse is in here as another creature to drop down turn 1, or to cast a spell on another creature, and its adventure is called Squeak By. It says target creature you control gets +1/+1 until end of turn. It can't be blocked by creatures with power 3 or greater this turn, which can be pretty good on a Monastery Swiftspear or another creature that's loaded up with a bunch of artifacts. So that gets an include in here because I think that evasiveness is really strong. And on the backside, it's just a Savannah line. It's a 2/1 for 1. So not too bad. So that's our 1-drops. Into the 2-drops, we're running 2 copies of Kemba Ka Enduring. He's a 2/2 for a colorless and a white. Whenever Kemba or another cat enters the battlefield under your control, attach up to 1 target equipment you control to that creature. Equipped creatures you control get +1/+1. So he's an Anthem effect for your equipped creatures, and he also immediately grabs an equipment once it comes into play. So he's pretty good, and you can pay 5 to make another cat creature if you want to. Typically, you're not going to be spending that mana to do that. Recommission is in here because it's just a really good graveyard recursion effect, because it gets not just your creatures, but your artifacts as well. It says, return target artifact or creature card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. If a creature enters the battlefield this way, it enters with a +1/+1 counter on it. So you can get your Swiftspear back, you can get your Kemba back, you can get any of your creatures back, but more importantly, you can get your artifacts back. If someone destroys your Hexgold Halberd or your Hexgold Hoverwings, you can, well, you can't get that back. Ignore that. But like, say like your sword or your Bladehold War Whip. Any of these 4 Mirrodin equipments, you can get back with recommission and also get that 2/2 Rebel back as well. So that's why recommission's in here. Bespoke Battle Guard is in here because it has Celebration. It is for 1 in a red, you get an artifact equipment that reads, equipped creature gets +2/+0. On its face, it's not that great, but the fact that it has Celebration makes it better. Celebration, which triggers when at least 2 permanents enter the battlefield this turn. So what this does is, at the beginning of combat on your turn, if 2 or more non-land permanents enter the battlefield under your control this turn, attach Bespoke Battle Garb to up to 1 target creature you control. So, if you happen to play the Hexgold Halberd with the Bespoke Battle Guard already on it, you can choose to move the Battle Garb immediately onto the creature created by the Hexgold Halberd. So that's how Celebration works, because Hexgold Halberd brought itself in, and the Rebel, that's 2 permanents. It triggers Celebration, and you get to do the thing. So I think it's worth 2 of. We got Kellen the Fey-Blooded. He's in here because he gets your equipment for you. Also, another thing to note is, if you're playing a more control-y version of the deck and you want to run things like Ossification or stuff like that, Kellen can go get Ossification for you because it is an aura. You attach it to your land to get the effect. So you get any aura, any equipment, reveal it, put it into your hand. So the front face of this card is a tutor. That's pretty good. On the back side is a 2/2 double striker for 3 mana, and it says other creatures you control get +1/+0 for each aura and equipment attached to Kellen the Fey-Blooded. So pretty good. I think it gets a 2 of in here. Rebel Salvo. This is staying in the deck because it has affinity for equipment, and we're playing a lot of equipment. So most of the time when you cast a spell, you're going to be casting it for a single red. And it says Rebel Salvo deals 5 damage to target creature or planeswalker. That permanent loses indestructible until end of turn. So kill just about anything with this card. Not bad. Ruck, the Hexgold Nabber, is still in here. He's here because I think he's cool. I like him. He's a trample haste 2/2 for only 3 mana, and whenever an equipped creature you control other than Rook, Hexgold Nabber attacks or dies, you may attach all equipment attached to that creature to Rook. So let's say, for example, we play our Hexgold Halberd with the Bespoke Battle Guard on it. Suit him up. Next turn, we play Ruck, and we start swinging in with this and the Hexgold Halberd person. And then you just say, Ruck wants some or all of that equipment. So you just give it. Give it. Ruck wants it. He wants to attack with it. So give it. And in most cases, you're going to let Ruck have it because Ruck has trample and Ruck wants to hit hard. So I think he's cool. I'm keeping in here as a 1 of. Next up, we have 2 copies of Godric. Godric is a fantastic creature. Probably the best Celebration creature. For 1 and 2 red, it's a 3/3 haste. Celebration. As long as 2 or more non-land permanents enter the battlefield under your control this turn, Godric Cloaked Reveler is a dragon with base power and toughness 4/4. Flying, and pay 1 red. Dragons you control get +1/+0 until end of turn. So not just him, but other dragons you control also. So if we were playing this in a dragon-centric deck, this would be like a dragon lord. But in this deck, he's pretty much just a 3/3 haste that can become a 4/4 haste flyer. So that's why he's in here, because he pairs very well with all of the 4 Mirrodin equipments. Then we have Bladehold Warwhip. This is like an enabler for the entire deck. For 1, a red, and a white, you get a 4 Mirrodin artifact. So it's an equipment, comes in with a 2/2. So treat it like a creature. Equip abilities you activate of other equipment cost 1 less to activate. Equipped creature has double strike, and it has an equip cost of 5. So it's a very heavy equip cost. But it comes in already attached to a creature, so it's kind of okay. So it's not the worst. But the fact that it gives double strike is the real kicker here. So if you happen to get a Godric that is celebrating, you can say, I think I want that guy to hit twice. That seems like a good idea to me. Next up, we're running 2 copies of Sword of Forge and Frontier. So this is 3 mana artifact equipment. Equip cost is 2. It says, equipped creature gets +2/+2 and has protection from red and from green. Whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, exile the top 2 cards of your library. You may play those cards this turn, and you may play an additional land this turn. So if you have not played a land yet, and you connect with this, and both those cards revealed are lands, you can play them both out. Get a little ramp action going. Pretty nice. Otherwise, it's just a great way to impulse draw. So we're running a couple of those. And honestly, just giving a creature +2/+2 and selective evasion is still pretty decent. So that gets in there. Next up, the Hexgold Wings. I'm leaving this in here because it's a quasi-pump card, and it also is evasion. So it's for 3 and a white, 4 Mirrodin, so it comes in with a 2/2. Equipped creature has flying. Creatures you control that are equipped get +1/+0. So technically this comes in as a 3/2 flyer, but it also pumps the rest of your team so long as those creatures are equipped. And has an equip cost of 3. Volshock Splitter. This is one of the probably least powerful equipments. It's still in here just because it comes in with a creature. So like I really wanted to maximize the amount of equipments that come in with creatures as possible to ramp up the celebrations. So that's that. And last is the Dragonwing Glider. For 3 and 2 red, you get a 4 Mirrodin artifact, and it says equipped creature gets +2/+2 and has flying and haste. So if you get your opponent down far enough, you can just play this as a 4/4 flying haster and finish the game right then and there. So that's all of the equipment. And then we have Nahiri, the kind of payoff for all the equipment. So this is a 5/4 for 4 colorless, a red and a white, but she has affinity for equipment. So that means that her casting cost is 1 colorless less for every equipment you control. So if you have 3/4 equipment, she's only going to cost 1 colorless or 0 colorless. So you're only going to be paying the red and white in her casting cost. Not bad, because you're getting a 5/4 for 2 mana at that point. Your ability is whenever an equipped creature you control attacks, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. You may cast equipment spells this way without paying their mana costs. So bear in mind here, something very important is this says when they attack, not when they attack and connect, just the attack. So with her out, you swing in with like 2 or 3 creatures that are equipped, you get to impulse draw 2 or 3 more cards. And equipments, which is all of this stuff that we just got done talking about, especially the ones with 4 Mirrodin, you get to just play them for free. So that's more creatures on the board coming right out. So Nahiri, not bad. So we're gonna give it a shot, take it out onto the ladder, see how well it does, and we'll just observe and report, right? So let's go take a look. Okay, our opponent today is Magaroon, and our hand is all right. It's all right. We'll keep it. All right, let's see here. Let's go Mountain first into Monastery Swiftspear. You will play Cut Down. Oh no, I was expecting Cut Down. Okay, so we have a Rakdos opponent. I'm expecting to see a lot of removal. Oh no, it's rats. Okay. Let's see here. Go and play that. We'll play Hexgold Halberd. Swiftspear gets a +1 for the turn. And we swing for 2. Tattered Ratter comes in. Okay. Let's go and play this. We'll go ahead and kill that. Attack. They block, and they'll leave a rat behind. I'm okay with rats, because rats can't block. Monstrous Rage. What's this do, anyways? This is the second time I've seen this played. Target creature gets +2/+0 until on a turn, create a monster. Oh! Okay, that's not too bad. Not too bad at all. Alright, let's go ahead and play a Bladehold Warwith. Okay. I guess the equipment strategy was a little too much to bear. Okay. So, we have a Plains, 2 Mountains, we have Kemba, double Swift Spear, and a Kellen. Well, we'll keep it. So we can go Monastery in 1. Turn 2, we can either play Kemba or the other Swift Spear, or play Kellen's spell. So we got options. Attack for 1. Alright, we're up against some kind of blue deck. Let's go and play that. And let's see here. Well, we don't have any equipment right now, so playing Kemba is probably not the best move. Autopay. That gets a +1. Now, what do we want? I think we want a Hex Gold Halberd, because it'll create a creature for us. Alright, so up against some form of Dimir. Let's go and play that. And we'll play the Hex Gold Halberd. We get the Prowess trigger. Oh, it lands. How you like that? Okay. And we'll play the other Monastery Swift Spear. Pay 1 life to make it happen. And we played the second Monastery Swift Spear second, because I didn't know what kind of counter magic he was going to be holding up. Let's see. Whenever another fairy enters the battlefield under your control, each opponent loses 1 life. Okay, that's cool. Alright, let's go ahead and play a Plains. And then we're going to play another Hex Gold Halberd. Get the +1 on the Monastery's Swift Spear. Okay, next. We're going to swing for 4. Infernal Grasp there. That takes some more damage. We'll play Kemba. Kemba comes in and picks that up. They got their 3rd land. That's good. Alien's Messenger. Okay. I lose a life because of Fairy. Discard a card this way, you get a +1/+1 counter on target fairy. So they could hit us for 3 this turn, or make a better blocker next turn. Yeah, they're gonna make a better blocker. I don't blame them. Let's see here, what do we got in here? Just that. Let's see. Alright, let's go ahead and play land. Let's play Kellen. We're also going to play Recommission on the other Swift Spear. We swing. Make bad blocks all the way around. That puts them to 4, but now the game is in their court. They have 5 cards in hand. I got nothing, so they have all of my information right now. Okay, they play another land. They pass the turn. Alright. So, we're just gonna attack. See what they do. Fairy Fencing. -3/-3. Okay, that's fine. So, in that case, we will make a cat. And we will pick up the Hex Gold Halberd. Okay, that does shrink my team, unfortunately. Let's see how they choose to block. Okay, so I blocked that there. That kills that. And they go to 1. I'm going to keep this land in my hand as a bluff. Granted, I'm tapped out, so I'm not really bluffing much. Okay, he's going to get the fairy fencing back and kill another creature. Yep. Oh, okay, he was giving up. Good game. It's like, I'm done. Nothing I can do here. Okay, so we have 3 lands. We have both our colors. We have Hex Gold Hoverwings, Bespoke Battle Garb, Godric, and Rebel Salvo. You know what? We'll keep it. We'll see what comes of it. It's not the fastest hand. Let's see, so we don't have anything to play turn 1, so it's a perfect time to play Sacred Peaks. It's nice lands. Alright, do we have anything for this turn? We do. So we're going to play this. We're going to play the Bespoke Battle Garb. Okay, so it looks like we're up against Orzhov. So are they going to play anything now? A Rumor Gatherer. How interesting. Okay, let's go ahead and play a Mountain, because we actually do have stuff to play this turn. We'll play Godric, and we will attack for 3. Right. 3 you get. Expecting an Ossify. Oh, a Welcoming Vampire. That is welcome. Now, do they have a follow-up? No, they did not. Okay, so here's where it's going to get fun. We are going to play a Hex Gold Halberd. That's going to come in. It's going to generate a token. That's going to turn him into a dragon. And then we are going to attack... Well, actually, what we're going to do... So we're going to Rebel Salvo, that right there. Get rid of that blocker. And you go to combat... Attach there, and then we're going to attack for 6. Big damage. I love it. That Rebel Salvo is actually pretty decent. 5 damage for 1 red mana is pretty cool. Inspiring Overseer. Okay. So they scry 1, and then they draw the card. Not bad. Alright, let's go and play the Sacred Peaks. And we will play the Hex Gold Hoverwings. That's going to come in for Mirrodin triggers. Let's see. I'm going to put it right here. And then we're going to swing like that. Celebration works so well with these cards. Like Celebration and For Mirrodin. It almost feels like they were designed together. Do you block? See, I'm thinking... Oh, no, he just doesn't block anything. Okay, that's cool. So I was thinking he would want to block Godric with the Angel. But maybe not. Alright, plays another land. And another Inspiring Overseer. Okay. That is an interesting synergy right there. Get the Scry from the Rumor Gatherer, and then get the draw off the Inspiring. That's pretty cool. Ooh, Brittle Cathar. Nice. Are you gonna grab? Really? Oh, probably because it was just a token creature. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so Godric is a legendary, so we can't do that. But what we can do is we can give him +2/+2. protection from red and green, which is not really that helpful, but that's okay. So we will attack like so. He's gonna have to block with a lot this turn. Or I could just chump. That's fine too. So I really need to get 2 permanents on the table next turn so I can give it flying and swing in for the win. Or I could just equip the Hex Gold onto it. But that's assuming he doesn't have another way to remove my guy. Okay, Blizzard Rumor Gatherer. So he's gonna scry. He scries it away and doesn't like it. So that tells me he probably does not have removal in his hand. But he does have the Markov Purifier. So now he's gonna draw 2 cards though. Oh, and he's gonna scry once, draw with the other. Do you have a solution? I think he just wants to swing in. And I think he knows that this is over. Alright, so equip. And he has fly now, so now we attack. Bink! And that's game. Not bad, not bad. That's a pretty fun build, not gonna lie. Okay, so we played our games, and now we're back with the post-game wrap-up. And my thoughts are, the deck has potential. Absolutely does. Godric is really strong. Monastery Swiftspear with all of the 4 Mirrodin equipments, triggering prowess, really good. I did not get a chance to play Dragonwing Glider or Nahiri in any games. The one game that I came close to playing Nahiri, I was kind of locked out on my lands, so that wasn't a whole lot of fun. The Sword of Forge and Frontier, pretty good, despite the game that we played it in. The protection didn't really become relevant. But what did become relevant is Godric's ability to become a flying dragon, and also Hexgold Hover Wings. So just being able to give flying to a creature for just a little bit of mana to get that last hit in, that actually is what won us the game last time. So aside from that, the Bespoke Battle Garb is actually really good. For the fact that it just gives +2/+0, it's not that strong, but the celebration is what makes it strong. Being able to just equip it onto someone without having to pay the mana to do it, I like that a lot. Kemba, Conjuring, is really good when you have people on the battlefield already holding weapons ready to attack. It's like that's good. Being able to just pick up a weapon, or creating a cat when Kemba's about to die that will then pick up the weapon that Kemba is holding. That's a pretty strong ability. I like that a lot. Recommission came in handy as well. As far as cards that didn't really shine a whole lot, Kellen didn't really have a lot of opportunity to shine in this deck. Mostly just because by the time Kellen came out, it was already too late. I was already doing more, having the equipment already attached to other creatures. If Kellen came in and had a equip cost reduction on him, that would probably change things. Like, Kemba outshines Kellen in the fact that he just picks up an equipment as soon as he hits the battlefield. Same thing with Ruck. Ruck just grabs things and just starts swinging. The Bespoke Battle Garb as well. We already talked about that, but I'll talk about it again. It's like the cheating mana is what makes this deck function. And so as far as cards that I would remove versus add in, Kellen is good for the ability to search things up. I probably wouldn't remove him outright. Rebel Salvo, I would probably increase this up to a 4 of, though. Like, that actually turned out to be really good. Being able to nuke anything for only 1 red mana is really strong. The Dragonwing Glider might end up being a little bit too expensive, but just only 2 of them, I don't think it's that bad. Volshock Splitter is probably too expensive for what it is, so you might have some leeway pulling these out and going to get something else a little more cheap. Something that comes to mind, let me bring it up real quick. It is in white. White, it's from March of the Machine. It costs 1. Let's see. It's a artifact, I believe. Yeah, there it is. Core Halberd. That comes to mind. Just 1 to play, 1 to equip, gives a creature +1/+1 in vigilance. I would probably drop the Volshock Splitter in favor of this, just because it's better in the fact that it comes down early. This one, by the time you're casting this, you should be winning the game already, or have better things to cast, like Nahiri or Dragonwing Glider. Another thing, probably the first thing I would upgrade in this deck is ditching the Sacred Peaks and the Windscarred Crag. Nothing screws up your curve harder than these lands that come into play tapped. I would definitely move those out in favor. Let's see, red, white. Oh, hang on just a second. There we go. Stupid software. See, I would definitely bring those in. Let's see. Come on, get the filter right. There we go. Okay, so if you want to spend a few rare wild cards, I would definitely recommend this, especially for a deck that wants to go fast. You want these lands. You want Sundown Pass. Sundown Pass enters the battlefield tapped unless you control 2 or more other lands. And also there is Battlefield Forge. It's just a pain land. You can tap it for a colorless or a red or white, but if you tap it for red or white, it deals damage to you. But in an aggressive deck like this, you're not really going to care. So you want lands that come into play untapped, because if you are playing this on like turns like 3 or 4 or even 2, you basically are passing the turn and not doing anything, because like these really gum up your early turns if you don't have a good curve. So like nothing feels worse than having a Monastery Swiftspear in your hand and your only source of red being Sacred Peaks. That sucks. You don't want that. You want Battlefield Forge, you want Sundown Pass, or hell, just a regular ass mountain would be better than that. I would just go for the mountain instead. So yeah, those are things that really you want to be on the lookout for. The first thing you want to upgrade in any deck really is the lands. Get your lands sorted and you're going to win more games, seriously. So aside from that, the deck functions pretty well. It's got a good base. I would probably upgrade this a little bit further and try to make this work with more of like the celebration style creatures. Because like Godric's an all-star in a deck like this. Like on his own, he's just a 3/3 haste. But when he gets the opportunity to turn into a dragon for the turn and pick up free equipment like the Bespoke Battle Guard, that's really strong, and you can hit for a lot of damage really early with Godric. So definitely be on the lookout for Celebration paired up with For Mirrodin. I think it's pretty strong. So anyways, that's the deck. I'll put a link to the deck in the description box down below, so if you want to give it a shot, you can. So yeah, till next time, you take care of yourselves.